husband always tells me I should do a video on my way home, and it's a really good idea, so I'm gonna actually do that. There's been something that's been weighing on me a lot this week in particular, and it has to do with healing. So I don't know about y'all, but I've had some things happen in my life, traumatic things that have been hard to heal from. And one of the things I've kind of always heard is that when you're healed, essentially you don't like have a negative emotion associated with that situation, or you don't really feel anything. It's just like you're good, you know. That's how you know you're healed. And I've been really mulling over that because I've kind of been addressing a certain situation that happened to me a long time ago. And one of the things I think I realize is that when you're young, especially, it's like, or when it's fresh or it's new, even if you're not young, there are defense mechanisms we have, survival tactics we have innately in our bodies that we respond a certain way. You know, like you don't fully allow yourself to feel the depth of the hurt that you're encountering, because it's like something in you realizes it could completely take you out, you know, whether it takes you out emotionally, mentally, or whatever. And for me, this particular situation happened when I was a teenager, and I knew God in the sense of like I knew he existed and that he was real, but I didn't have a relationship with him like I do now, for sure. And I think it was almost like his protection. It was like, okay, you don't know me well enough to really feel to the extent that this situation can cause you to feel. Like you won't make it. Like I knew that. It's like I knew my emotional maturity wasn't there to be able to deal. I mean, I couldn't articulate it that way back then, but it took me years to first of all be able to acknowledge truly what happened to me, and then to be able to begin to process it. And now, just kind of coming back around the mountain with this situation, I feel like I'm really feeling appropriate emotions surrounding it for the first time probably in a while. It's like furthering layers of healing, you know. And I guess I just want to encourage people that, you know, there's things that happen, and whenever you think about it, it doesn't change the nature of what it was. If it was something evil or it was something bad or hurtful, it's never going to not be that same character. You know, if you were abandoned, if you were molested, if you were raped, if you were rejected, I mean, these different things, they're all negative, they're all bad things. That doesn't, you being healed doesn't change what they are, you know. I think healing has more to do with, for me, okay, and this is my faith, but it has everything to do with allowing God and my relationship to be furthered to a place where I allow him to speak the truth to me about who I am in relationship to that situation. So for instance, if you're molested or abandoned, rejected, raped, emotionally abused, physically abused, anything bad that you can think of, if you encountered that, it can make you feel negative things about yourself. It can make you not have it can make you feel negative things about yourself, and it can make you not have a correct interpretation of your value. It can make you feel less than human. It can make you feel less than your peers. There's just so many ways that it can affect your outlook on yourself personally and on people in general. It can make you very skeptical, very doubtful, very negative outlook on your future. For me, I did not like to plan. It was like, I'm just glad to kind of be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I hope my life is good, and I hope it turns out, you know, all right. But it was because of how I felt about myself and how my outlook on my future based on the things I had gone through. You know what I'm saying? And so I equate that to this understanding that now, because of who God is in my life, it doesn't change the negative effect or the negativity of the situation that I you know, encountered and that I survived. But it does change because of who God is in my life. It does change how I'm able to view myself, the truth about myself in relationship to that situation. The truth is, because of what happened, that doesn't mean there's something wrong with me, or that I'm not valuable or important, or that I don't have a future that is bright and beautiful and exciting and incredible plan for me. And it doesn't mean any of that. As a matter of fact, it's the exact opposite, And it takes time to process and to heal to a place where I could believe that about myself and about my future and about my life. But to be honest, if I think about that time, if I think about what happened, what it cost me, there are still really heavy emotions that I feel surrounding that stuff. I'm angry still. It hurts. I feel a physical pain and an emotional pain that's hard to describe. I don't know how I could ever look back on that experience and that situation and remember what happened to me and not feel those same emotions. Is such a terrible thing, But what I am exceedingly excited about is, I think that is so normal. It is normal and it's necessary to be able to review those things in your life and in your past and be like, man, that was horrible. Like, that was horrible. And it was not fair. And justice was not had for me. But I am a wife and a mom and a professional. I'm good at my job as a nurse. I have been a great pastor. I believe that. I have compassion for people, and I understand people and their emotions and their circumstances in a unique way because of the things that I've been through and that I've survived. And I'm really proud of that, and I'm so grateful to God for that. I'm a mom of 5 incredible children who they amaze me. They amaze me every single day. Every single day, they amaze me. My husband loves me with a tenacious love that reminded me that God is for me. He has to be to give me this man. Like, that kind of love, that makes you believe there must be a God type of thing. I have friendships that have enriched my life to a place I didn't even know was capable. I've endured relationships that I would have run from, or relationships I would have held on to because of my lack of value. I don't do that anymore. If you're toxic or you don't love yourself enough to get the kind of healing that you need to pursue that so that you can be a healthy individual for the people around your life, I don't judge you. I don't. But I don't make excuses for you either. And it's one of those things where I've learned to love myself enough, to value my well-being enough, that I don't let myself get wrapped up into other people's toxicity, if that makes sense. I mean, it's just so many growing points that have happened in my life. Saying all of this to say, don't let people convince you that you're only healed when you can review a traumatic, hurtful, broken time in your life and not feel any emotion. I think that it's the opposite. When you're numb to an experience that you've had, that's an indication that you need healing, if anything, because there should be some natural emotion that you feel. That's something God gave us, emotions to help us to process, to help us to heal, to help us to articulate and to identify what's going on with us internally and how it's affecting us so that we can be better, Injustice will always make me angry. I should say, someone taught me a long time ago too, I make a choice about what I give, what emotion. And, I think a better way to say it is, I will always choose to be angry about injustice. It's called righteous indignation, and it rises up and it stands up tall on the inside of me, and it says, no, that's not okay. What happened? That's not okay. And what happened to me was not okay. And I don't take vengeance into my own hand. The Lord told me that vengeance is his. I will continue to pursue avenues of healing and understanding, and anything that I can do to see justice happen in the right way, I will do that. But please be encouraged that healing happens in layers, man. And you need to feel, but you need to know a God that is real and authentic, and that is big enough to take all of your emotions, all your brokenness, all of your mental capacity, and shepherd you through your healing. Because without God, I would have had a mental break a long time ago and not be a sane person. I know I wouldn't. And emotionally, I would just be a wreck. I mean, like, all the time, I wouldn't be able to function. So, kind of a heavy video, I guess, but I hope it really blesses and helps people, because we need to be free from that thinking. I mean, we're emotional beings, and your emotions don't need to rule you, but you don't need to ignore them either. And there is balance in that, and that's what God does. He helps us to navigate all those different things. So I hope that this helps your heart be well, and I love you guys. Heart wellness.